Place the loom band board on a flat surface with this middle peg at the top, like so. Pick the colours you would like to use for your single chain bracelet. We are going to use pink and white bands and green and yellow bands so that we make our bracelet bright and colourful. Take a green band on the end of the tool, then place the band on the bottom left peg like so. To start the single chain bracelet, we are going to diagonally stretch the loom band up onto the next peg to the right and push the band down slightly. Next, we will take a pink band and loop it onto the middle peg we've just used. Stretch one end to the diagonal peg on the left and don't forget to push it down. We are going to keep repeating these steps in a zigzag pattern. Make sure not to overlap your bands. If you have, don't worry. Use the tool to separate them like so. Once you've reached the top of the board, spin it around so the opposite end is now facing you. On the now bottom right peg, using the tool, reach through the green band and hook the pink band. You might notice we are using our finger to hold the green band. This is to secure it in place to make sure it doesn't ping off when we pull the band up and over onto the next peg above to the left. When we do this, it should look like this. Now we are going to do the same thing again. On the same peg, reach through the pink band and hook the green band. Then pull this up, over and onto the peg above to the right. We are going to repeat this step in a zigzag pattern until you reach the end of the board. Here is how it should start to look. Once you've reached the top of the board, we are ready to finish our bracelet. Rotate the whole board like so. Pull the last loom band out to the side with the tool like this. Then take an S-clip and hook it onto the loom band. Make sure you get both loops. Now you're ready to take your loom bracelet off the board. Holding the S-clip, start to pull the bands gently towards you, unhooking them from each peg as you go. You should start to see your bracelet take form. Now the bracelet is off the board, we're going to take the last band and hook it onto the other end of the S-clip. Wow, we've done it! Here is our single chain bracelet. Place the loom band board on a flat surface side on like so. Pick the colours you would like to use for your fishtail chain bracelet. We are going to use yellow, purple and blue so that we make our bracelet bright and colourful. In one motion, take your yellow band, loop it over any peg on the board, twist into a figure of 8 and hook onto the next peg like so. Make sure you push the band down. We are now going to take a purple band and without twisting it, place it onto the same 2 pegs. Make sure not to overlap your bands. If you have, don't worry. Use the tool to separate them. Then push down. Repeat this step one more time with a new band. We're using blue. Now it is time to take your tool and use it to pull the bottom band up and over the pegs on both sides like this. You might notice we are using our finger to hold the bands. This is to secure them in place to make sure they don't ping off when pulling the bottom band out from underneath. Place another band on top of the 2 pegs in use and push down. Take your tool and use this to pull the bottom band up and over the pegs on both sides. Continue to add a band on top, then pull the bottom band out until your bracelet starts to form. When it starts to get longer, you might want to pull the bracelet out from underneath to give you more room. It should look like this. Once you are happy with the length of your bracelet, it's time for the finishing steps. Take 2 bands that are a different colour to the bands you have used so far. Don't worry, we'll remove these later. Use these bands to repeat the steps we have just done. Do this twice. You should now only have the 2 different coloured bands hooked onto the pegs like this. Pinch the centre tightly like so, and pull up slowly and carefully and ensure to hold onto the bracelet at all times. Use the tool to pull the different coloured bands out while still pinching. Once they are removed, continue to pinch and push the tool through the loop at the end like so. Gently pull the length of the bracelet down away from the tool and hook the S-clip securely on both sides of the band. Then slide the bracelet off the tool. Finally, loop the bracelet round and hook the other end on the S-clip like so. Doesn't our fishtail chain bracelet look amazing? Place the loom band board on a flat surface with this middle peg at the top, like so. Pick the colours you would like to use for your ladder bracelet. We are going to use purple, pink, green and blue, so that we can make our bracelet bright and colourful. Take a purple loom band and hook on the end of the tool. Then place the band on the bottom middle peg and loop over the peg diagonally to the left. Push the band down like so. Repeat this step with another purple band, moving it from the middle peg diagonally to the right, like so. Push both bands down, but be sure not to overlap. Next, take a pink band and loop on the left peg that we just looped the purple loom band onto and stretch it to the immediate peg above. Make sure to push down. Repeat this on the other side with the same colour. Taking a purple band, repeat this step on the next peg up. Repeat this all the way up the board on both sides, alternating colours to the top and pushing down each time. When you reach the top, take a pink band and hook from the top left peg to the middle peg and do the same on the other side, still ensuring not to overlap. Now, take another pink band, loop it onto the third peg up on the left and stretch it across to the peg on the right. Then, take a purple band, loop it onto the fourth peg up on the left and again, stretch it across to the peg on the right. Repeat this all the way up, alternating your colours. Stop when you reach the second from the top. This is what your board should look like. Going back to the middle peg at the bottom of the board, take a green band and place this on the first peg in the centre and loop this up to the second peg in the centre. Continuing from the second peg, repeat this all the way up to the top centre peg. Ensure to push all the bands down as you go. Spin the board around so the opposite end is now facing you. Now, loop a blue band on the bottom middle peg, then twist and loop it back over the same peg. This is your capping band. Be sure not to overlap. Reaching through the capping band, take the green band with your tool and gently pull through the blue capping band and loop onto the centre peg above. You might notice we are using our finger to hold the blue band. This is to secure it in place to make sure it doesn't ping off when pulling the green band out from underneath. Repeat this all the way up the centre of the board to the top peg. Now we are going to be placing the bands across the middle again. Like we did earlier, take a pink band and loop it onto the second peg on the left. Stretch the band across to the peg on the right. Repeat this all the way up the board, alternating between pink and purple bands. Be sure to push the bands down as you go. Return to the end of the board closest to you where the capping band is. With the tool, reach through the capping band, pull the top pink band back through and loop over the peg diagonally to the left. Now, with the tool again, reach through the capping band, pull the remaining pink band back through and loop over the peg diagonally to the right. Be careful not to pull any other bands off when pulling through the bottom band. Use your finger to secure for ease when doing this step. Repeat this until you reach the top of the board on both sides. When you reach the last peg, repeat this action to the middle top peg. Repeat this on both sides. Put your tools through the centre of the top middle peg and through all of the bands. Push it out to the side so you can access the tool like so. Take a green band and while holding one side of it, attach the other side to the tool and pull it all the way back through. Then hook the end of the band you are holding onto the tool. Slide the bands up the tool so it is sitting on the middle. Now it's time to remove the bracelet. While securely holding the same band on the tool, gently pull off all the bands off the loom. The bracelet is probably not long enough for you, so we're going to add an extension. This tool is made for this. Take another green band and place it into the divot in the tool, like so. Slide the bracelet over the band, pinch both sides of the band, slide all the way off the tool and thread the tool through the band you have just added. Repeat this until you have a length that you are happy with. To finish off your bracelet, hook an S-clip securely on the last band you have threaded onto the extension. Thread the other side onto the blue capping band. You now have a ladder bracelet.